Hey there, and welcome to my channel, Living in Calgary, Alberta. My name is Dean Martin. I'm a real estate agent here in Calgary. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the May real estate market update for May 2022. This will cover all the main indicators that will help us determine which way the market is trending as we go into spring and summer. There's been a lot of sales activity, as you probably already know. Calgary has been in a very strong seller's market for quite a while now, and it is continuing as we go into this year. I'm going to be going over some of the sales stats so you get a better understanding of this trend and go into why I think it's actually happening and why it will sustain as we go into not only this year but next year. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I do invite you to subscribe and of course ring that bell. Give me a like, and I really appreciate that. So without any further ado, let's get into it right after this. All right, so let's take a quick look at the overview of the sales in Calgary for April. And as we're going into May, it's still very strong seller's market, and the numbers are supporting that. We had an all-time record in March, and our sales in April were slightly lower, but again, we're still over 6% year to year for this month, which is again another record month. We had new listings of 4,577. So our inventory, as you can see this little graph here, we had a sharp increase, which was really good, gave buyers more choices. But the thing is that the buyers are still buying up the inventory. So it's still, you have to act quickly if you're thinking of buying and it's a good home. There are still multiple offers on really good homes. Our inventory, again, is still, it's actually decent. It's at 4,850. Obviously, we'd like to see more. It makes it a little bit easier for the buyers to find more property or have more selection. But really, this is going up nicely as we get into closer to the summer months. Our months of supply is at 1.43. And again, this is very low. This is what's making this a seller's market in Calgary. I'll get into more details about that in the following graphs. Our total residential price, average price, is up again at year over year at 16.9%. This is again average of all these four groups of homes. Average price was 526,700. Detached homes, our average price is 628,900. Semi-detached, 487,900. Row price, which is our townhouses, they're at 443,000, and apartment price, condo apartment, is 272,600. All right, so let's take a look at the monthly stats for all the different zones in Calgary. Calgary is really split up into these different zones, and it really kind of helps separate the different types of living in Calgary. Up here in the north central Calgary is the benchmark price was 492,900, up 22% from last year. Northwest Calgary, 589,600, up 16.2%. West side of Calgary, up just over 13% at 633,500. City Center, 541,500. South part of Calgary, or it's really south central part of Calgary, is 506,700. Southeast Calgary is 545,000. And East Calgary, 356,900, and Northeast Calgary at 435,700. So as you can see, if you're thinking about purchasing a home, this really does help you determine which price range that your budget is in. That's one of the things that I do for you is if you are looking for a home and you need some advice or recommendations, I recommend just reaching out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you really determine again which part of Calgary would be best for you and which would fall into what you need for your home as well as what's going to fit in your price range. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. So this next graph is our months of inventory. This one really helps us understand how fast homes are selling in Calgary. And as you can see right here, it's at a very low number. And what these numbers represent is the month of supply. So for instance, if you take our total inventory, this is how many, or this is how long it takes for those homes to sell and bring it to zero. So right now we're at 1.43 months of inventory before it'll hit zero. So what we typically see is if there's strong buying going on, which there is, and these graphs or these bars go down lower, or it's a lower number, that means we're basically in a seller's market, and that's typically driving the prices up, and which has been very true. So ever since 2020, we've seen the inventory levels being eaten up very quickly by the amount of buyers, and that's been driving our price up higher. So on this next graph, I'm going to show you that you'll see how this correlates with the prices going up. All right, let's take a look at the inventory and sales. This is a great graph that kind of combines a few different ideas of what's going on. And so the first thing here is in red is the benchmark price. And as you can see here, it is actually going up quite significantly over the last year and actually really over 2 years. And but if we also look at the green bars here, that's our sales, and blue is our inventory. And so as we came into 2022, our inventory was extremely low and our sales were extremely high. So that combination was driving our price really through the roof. It's crazy how fast the prices were going up. Now, we do know that that's not going to go on forever. But what I do know is that as long as we have a high demand on homes in Calgary, I don't really see this actually stopping yet. And why I'm saying that is that I know a lot of people that are moving in from Calgary. They're moving from Toronto and Vancouver, and in those cities and surrounding areas, prices are still significantly higher than Calgary. So we're looking at more than double and triple in a lot of cases. So Calgary is still a place that people want to live with people being able to work remotely. We're seeing just a huge amount of influx of those types of families moving into Calgary. So as you can see here again, inventory is going up. This does make it nicer for the buyers, gives them more choices. So I expect to see more listings come on, obviously, over the next couple months before summer. In summer, typically we see a downturn just because people are on holidays, that kind of thing, and so it does quieten it down a little bit. But then once again in the fall, we're going to probably see the increase of activity again. So once again, this graph does show us that there's a strong pressure upward, and I don't see this changing anytime soon. Okay, so in this graph, this really shows us in more clear detail months of inventory. So months of inventory, if you're not familiar with this, this is on how many months it takes for our inventory if to go from where it's at to zero if not one more listing was listed. So again, right now we're looking at under 2 months, which again is in seller market territory. And again, as you can see, it was falling all through 2021 and then going into 2022. Again, we're starting to see a little increase here. We'll have to see how this goes. But still very strong right now. Lots of buyers still buying. One of the questions I do also get is, how is the interest rate increase affecting our sales here in Calgary? So one thing to know is that obviously as interest rates go up, that's going to eliminate some people from purchasing. So it does affect people's ability to purchase and does slow down the number of homes that are getting purchased. But that being said, People are still choosing to live in Calgary, so people are moving from other provinces and moving into Calgary, which is creating still a high demand on homes in Calgary. And for that reason, I believe that we're still going to see an increase as we go through 2022 for Calgary. All right, so final graph here. This one's truly kind of interesting. This will give you a better idea of the amount of homes in the price range that you may be in, or in the price ranges that you're interested in learning about. This will show you how many homes are selling in each one of these price ranges. And so again, under 200,000 and then all the way up to over a million. So if you look at the legend here, red is our current year, yellow was last year. So already we're above last year's numbers, and last year numbers were a record year. So Calgary is booming, lots of activity in all the different price ranges. And once again, I do recommend, if you are thinking of purchasing a home, I'd love to chat with you. Just give me a call or send me an email and explain a little bit about what your plans are. I'd love to hear it from you. And again, if you want some help on finding the best communities for your family and your situation, I'd be more than happy to share my knowledge with you. I've been doing this for over 30 years in Calgary, and been helping lots and lots of families find good homes that match what they're looking for and their lifestyle. And once again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and ring that bell. That way you get updated on my next video. If you like this video, please give me a like. So again, thank you for watching and have a great day.